can actually see the engine in this. So that's built in 1956. 65 years old.
Oh, really?
See now your windows come down? Show you how the windows come down. Let me go around. So back in the day before I was born, yeah, and your dad was born, yeah, this is what you had for air conditioning. You used to have to open the little windows.
Careful.
I will.
Yeah.
And the air would come in because there's no air conditioning. And you know you got window wipers in some cars. Well, these didn't even have that. So to open that, you have to unlock it. That locks it, and then you have to pull it down, and then you pull it back up again, and then you lock it.
That's so beautiful.
And then to start it, there you go. Look, I'm just fixing the horn. There's your handbrake. In most modern cars, as you know, it's an automatic brake, isn't it? You don't even have to do that. The handbrakes, it's not in the middle. Start it. Very simple controls in these cars. All you've got is ignition, fuel, oil, and your speedometer. Now this here is your indicators. So you have to manually turn it. Yeah, and then you have to turn it off if you forget, and you have to turn. So where that points is the indicator goes on. So if that points to my right, I have to do that, vice versa. And to start it, it's a little bit different how you start this. So you get your old key, put it in the ignition, you turn it on. Now you can't turn the key. You see this little port? We've got two here. This is what they call a choke. So in the morning when it's cold, you have to pull it out, and it puts pure petrol into your carburettor. And then you pull this. So stand back just as it's out of gear, and then what you do, look, you pull that, look at the little pedals, got little pedals, and you... And then this is just for your lights. And there's no seat belt, so when you do this, you think, oh, because they weren't needed in cars this old. No seat belts, you don't have to do MOT, it's exempt, it's also tax exempt. You'd have to pay tax and stuff, and it's got drum brakes. There's no discs on the wheels. It's got drum brakes, like oh, you know, old cycles. You got the block of rubber. Well, it's like that on these, but bigger. So it takes you a little while to stop. It's got 4 seats, yeah, quite big seats. And then turn it off, and it's just got 3 little heater, window wipers, little window wipers. They look amazing, look. Aren't they amazing? And again, and there's it, watch the indicator. There goes the indicators. I turn it on, see? And it starts to flash. Now if I forget when I'm going along, I'll be, oh, I forgot, and I have to turn the bloody thing off. And these don't always finish back here. You have to make sure you judge it. That's it. It's 65 years old. It was built in the UK by British Leyland before they went bust 30-40 years ago, and it's probably had 4 owners, and it's done about 64,000 miles. Now in new cars, when you lift up the bonnet and you look at the engine, all you see is a plastic sheet across the top. But in these cars, if you come around the corner, oops, you lift it from here. This is a flying 8, it's called an Austin. So you lift it, and then you can actually see the engine in this. See that? It's a weeny little engine. So your air filter, this big thing here is your heater. So if you look in your dad's car or your mum's car, your car, you don't see anything, you just see a bit of plastic going across the top because they don't want you to touch it. So with this, it's a little 1000cc engine just under. There's your spark plugs. Spark, yeah. So it's a little engine, isn't it? I mean, the maximum speed is, what do you think? Come on, have a guess. Oh, half that. No, it can do about 75 kilometres, 70, 78. It does about, does miles per hour. That's about 40 miles per hour maximum, but it's really loud. It's really loud inside, and you can hear all the bumps and the noises, so you can't spend too much time in it. So I'll just do it locally. So I don't, I'm retired. I tend to take it round my families, and I drive it, yeah. It's very good. It's as I said, it's very noisy. There's no noise reduction under the bonnet, so there's no plastic and stuff that keeps the noise down like it's quite in modern cars, isn't it? In this it isn't. It bounces around, the noise of the engine's like gives you a headache. No, it's not too, when I say bounce around, if you get in your car, it's very smooth, you don't hear anything. When you get in this, you can hear all the lumps and bumps and the squeaking of the car and the movement of all this. Pakistani A35. Built in 1956. So probably older than you. 56. So it's 65 years old. It's even got a little spare wheel. Look at your little spare wheel, look. Little spare wheel in the back. Hey. You don't get spare wheels in cars. So yeah, I'm getting there with it, I'm working on it. It's a lovely little car.